WIDE Putin, the mildly amusing meme of Russia's Vladimir Putin walking around with a remarkable scaling along the horizontal axis, resulting in his being unusually wide in his appearance. The meme became shared worldwide, evoking the funnies in countless people across the world, along with its catchy tune that's had very broad appeal. Hello there, it's DynoStorm. I am a games developer, working on a survivor-like tower defense game called Westmen, and I decided today to go ahead and take inspiration from this, and make a real WIDE power-up myself for the funsies. Stick around to the end to see why I would come up with such a silly idea. Westmen is being developed in the free and open source Godot 4 engine. First things first, I must change the camera and give it some variables that will allow for extra wideness, and give the player a little timer to show how much wideness they have left at any particular moment. I actually haven't implemented the timers for status effects just yet, so let's go in and do that now. I kinda forgot how to do updates on dictionaries, so I copied some code I did previously, assuming it worked. Next, I started up the game to play around with the camera settings, and see what I could come up with. I changed the camera's zoom from 2x2 to 14x4, and got a pretty wide smile when I saw the wide results. I couldn't wait to share this worldwide in service to wide well-being. I wrote a bit of code and exported the variable so I could toggle it in the inspector, and wrote an alert function to test it out on toggle with a nice smooth animation. After some adjustments, I was happy. I also wrote a bit of code in the camera to test whether the player object had any wide buffs active at that time, thereby completing the interaction between the player and the camera. I also tried exporting the dictionary to test things out, but seems the timers aren't actually working as I expected, which means my enemy status effects code isn't working either. Lord have mercy, I've only been using Godot for a year or so. I didn't even know what a dictionary was until a few months ago, so I faffed about trying to debug and get the numbers to go down with much frustration, because I'm retired and don't know how to code. Turns out you can't update dictionaries in a for loop directly using a for loop of their values. You must go for their keys, and then reference the dictionary, using the key as the key to get to the value. I know, it's a bit wacky, isn't it? A bit frustrating, but it's Godot, it's free and open source software, what are you gonna do? Now, all we need is a collectible thing in the game itself to activate the thing. I started drawing a mushroom, but changed my mind to a disappointed looking loaf of bread instead. After that, I was done. I popped it into the Godot, updated the very janky code to make it work, and then I put in, and put in the pickup into the stage, and voila, it works. Nice. All this power-up needs now is music, so I popped into Mixcraft and made something that sounds similar to that one song. I grabbed the MIDI file and made some dubious changes so it sounds similar but is different enough that hopefully I won't get sued. Oh yeah, and the break mode metal version, that is a thing in Westmen too, also forgot about that. Okay, so I popped into the game, set it up so that it plays when the power-up is active, and after a very wide journey we have a working WIDE power-up. All it does is temporarily make the view look wide. To balance it, I'll give the player a double damage bonus for the duration of the WIDE power-up. I hope this will broaden some horizons. I also decided to add some text to the HUD to display during the power-up, just to make sure people don't think it's a bug, but in fact a feature. I hope this has been of interest. Westmen is a survivor-like tower defense game where you play as Western heroes and fight against hordes of games journalists, furries, anime fans, and other degenerate, spiteful abominations. Capture control points, upgrade your character, raise your flag, save your women in Westmen, and now you can also go wide. Be sure to subscribe to me on the YouTubes and head over to StudioDynoStorm.com and sign up to be the first in line to play Westmen game when it is ready. Goodbye.